This fight was honestly so easy, but also so boring that I just couldn't justify putting music in and just letting it roll. Because it's just me. After I kill the first few elites here, it's just me running around. Fine, by the way. Just running around, pressing the stupid buttons, and then just chasing the Rat Queen down relentlessly until the bullet sponge has finally died. I mean, I make them more of bullet sponges since I'm on my tank build, but also it's like, this was insanely easy. Like, this was the easiest the entire DLC has been for me on this build in particular. Not to say that this build wasn't still breezing through a lot of other content and couldn't still solo everything else. It has. This tank build I'm on can solo, has soloed everything up to this point on heroic difficulty. But yeah, this, like, there's been challenges, but it's also because it's just elites. Once you get to this point, it's only elites you fight, which is easier for me because I have all my protection for elite buffs on this dude. But he's not a solely protection from elite build because I'm using Foundry too on him, so I'm actually missing some protection from elite buffs, but for good reason, because I still think Foundry in terms of soloing is the best balanced tank. Like, it's the kind of tank that's just good everywhere for all content, especially when you're soloing all content, and that's why I love it. It helps mitigate your red and purple weakness by giving you buffs that still help you even if red and purple enemies are attacking you. And then I use Sweet Dream Shotgun to just one-tap those guys, which is perfect, I think, because they're the biggest threat to this build. So being able to then just one-tap my biggest threat is the best thing. But yeah, a lot of my fights were that. It was like reds and purples spawn in. I use Sweet Dream Shotgun, and between melee hits, then just focusing down all the reds and purples till they're all dead before I kill any elites, because elites do the least damage to me, so I don't have to worry about them as much. So I just concentrate on the reds and purples until it's just elites on the field. And some fights during the mission, like, there's literally no elites. Literally, like, it's only reds and purples that spawn. which just proves that, which in those situations, a Foundry tank build is quite superior to the maximum protection from elite tank out there, since protection from elite doesn't help you whatsoever against reds and purple enemies, and in some situations there's not even an elite that spawns. But here it's like, okay, it's only elites. Well, he's still OP, and it just proves why I still like this over just the yellow protection from elite build that gets like 90% protection from elite, because you don't need it. Like, you see me face tanking these guys on yellow still, also because Foundry still helps with elites too, just not as much as protection from elite does for you, but still it's a good balance. It's like I'm still pretty much invincible against elites, especially on heroic difficulty, and then Foundry plus Sweet Dreams helps mitigate my weakness to reds and purples. So it's the best balanced tank in my opinion, and pure tank, not like a team support buff dude who's not really a tank in my view, because he can't really do this like non-stop. I've tried those builds, like 6 Armor Core Crusader build, Memento, Vanguard, all that stuff. And that is a great build, but it's best for teams. And yeah, you can solo on it, but not as good as a Foundry. Just a pure tank Foundry in my view. He really is the best tank, because you just alternate between your shield and your armor, both of which are healing constantly. You still get a good amount of protection from elite on him too. And then, well, yeah, that's about it. But yeah, you see what I'm doing. It's just, this is so easy. I'm like, what's hilarious is this video is going to cut off at 10 minutes because that's the longest Xbox captures can go. But it went on like a few minutes after this because I had to kill, after I kill her, you still have to kill the waves of enemies. The tips online when I saw people give tips on this before doing this was to leave only one enemy on the field, which is what I did here, and then concentrate on the boss, which is what I'm doing. But after this, I realized, you know what, I should have just killed all the enemies first. And also, I thought, they made it sound like the enemies spawn endlessly until you kill the boss. That's not true. It's not true anywhere in this game. Especially because that's usually what I'm doing. I'm usually on a pure tank especially. Usually I find it better to just focus down all the minions until only the boss remains for me to concentrate on, and then the boss is like no threat at all at that point. So that's what I usually do, and I can see that's what I probably should have done, actually. Because it took forever after I killed the boss to finish this, because there were so many enemies that kept spawning wave after wave. It's absurd how many enemies would keep spawning in. So, yeah. Yeah, this was pretty easy. It's like now I'm basically the one relentlessly chasing her. People online were like saying, "Oh man, she's coming for me constantly." And I can see why on other builds that aren't like a pure tank as this one, this fight would be way more challenging and annoying. It's because she's a sniper. She's a sniper boss. And snipers, if you don't have any protection from elite, especially in their yellows, can do crazy. I mean, a purple sniper does a lot of damage to me. But I can still tank a purple sniper. I just have to be more careful, especially if there's multiple purple snipers on the field, or like the purple sniper robots. Yeah, one shot from them will do like close to half my armor. But you have to also remember, the more damage I take, the more Foundry heals me. That's what I love about Foundry. And it's also why I love combining it with armor regen, with fixer drone, with catharsis, because if I'm not taking that much damage, I'm still getting a ton of healing from all that combined too. And then when I take a crap load of damage, well, I just pop on my bulwark shield, and then my armor that might be at red at that point, from like it goes from full to red within 1 second. Well, it shoots back up to full within that same second because of the increased damage. So that's the interesting thing on Foundry. In a sense, you actually sometimes like taking more damage. You still don't, because you don't want to die, and it's still more risky. But I guess the best thing I could say about Foundry is that it's good everywhere, but it's not so much that you want to take more damage. It's the build basically lets you you kind of like are able to absorb more damage because of how it works, with it healing you even more the more you take than other builds do. So you don't want to take more damage because you still because you want to live still. You don't want to die still. But that's inevitable in this game anyway, and the good thing about the Foundry is he's able to cope with taking more damage a lot better than any other build probably could. So, and that's why I still think it's the perfect tank in this game. The perfect solo tank in this game, for all content too, pretty much, is Foundry. Foundry specifically with the backpack and the armor plate and then Catharsis mask. And then I slap an improvised holster or knee pad or whatever, a yellow improvised to get, so that I can get another protection from elite buff. And then I go all armor regen, slap repair skill onto for my fixer drone, and then use survivalist, skill tree, specialization tree. And yeah, it just feels like the perfectly balanced tank. I still have a great shield. It's not the best shield because I'm still not using the Liberty pistol with Technician tree with Artificer Hive. But that build's not a tank either, in my view. It's just a pure shield build. Again, there's very few builds I've seen that are pure tanks. This is one of them. The other one is like the maximum protection from elite one I mentioned, but I still don't like that one because it's just it makes the damage difference between reds and purples hitting you, the divide, feel even more clear. And if anything, I feel like it lulls you into a false sense of security too often, because then it's like, oh, you're just face tanking these guys even better. And then a red shows up right behind you and flanks you, and then suddenly you see your armor drop to nothing almost immediately, and you're like, oh crap! Which happens to an extent on this build, but the difference is, again, Foundry helps mitigate against that, because the more damage I take, the more I heal. And then I don't use Liberty, I use Sweet Dream, so I can one-tap all the reds and purples I see on the field that are the biggest threat to me too, so. And then I get up to this, where it's nothing but elites. And just like a maximum protection from elite guy, I still feel like I can face tank these elites still. So it's really not that big of a deal. I love doing this, but I missed the fourth one. I try to hit him, and then of course, like I love and hate the explosive crossbow, because you have to have pinpoint accuracy for that thing to connect. It's so annoying, but it is pretty useful. It's also the only like long range weapon I have on this guy that's able to do at least a decent amount of damage when I don't have any weapon build or skill build at all. It's like it's all defense, all armor regen. But anyway, video's about to cut off, but yeah, this this was super easy. But real quick, one last thing. If you want to see this build, I already mentioned what I have in the video, but if you want to see all the details, just go to my previous video, the one right before this, when I did a control point, which was way harder than this fight, by the way, although it still was very doable. I still did it. I'm just saying it was way harder, and it forced me into certain fight styles that this just doesn't. Because again, there's invincible turrets, there's more elites, but there's also reds and purples that spawn. There's electric traps all over the place, and then your allies don't really help at all because they all just concentrate on the invincible turrets. That is really stupid in my view, because the developers need to change that crap because it's so unfair. I mean, this game is unfair as it is, but it's even more unfair when your allies spawn to the control point and they literally just start shooting a turret they can't kill, and then the turret just decimates them. So your allies you call to you literally can't do anything in the Brooklyn control points because the turrets just lock them down, and they can't help at all because they don't do any damage to the freaking turrets. The turrets are just a permanent threat. So yeah, they should do something that lets you disable that crap or something, because that is too ridiculous to me. But anyway, go see that video. Way harder, but also a better fight than this one. And at the end, around the 9-minute mark, I believe, is when I go through my build real quickly, and you can just pause the video as I do.